I really do not understand what's going on with the John Campea show right now. Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and I'm going to talk about the John Campea show again. Not just because the last John Campea video got way more views than I expected it to, but because he's made another decision that, as a fan, I just have to wonder what's going on. And in fact, these new changes are more perplexing when you really look at what he's done in the past. So look, I'm not going to show the video clip, but basically John announced during a members-only live stream, I believe, that the John Campea show was going to be pulled from YouTube. He explained and said that basically nothing was going to change, but that, they've looked at the analytics over the last year and they find out that more people watch the segmented video clips rather than the whole show live. This is despite the fact that the live show has all these super chats and things like that, and that's one of the ways that the show is funded, but we'll get to that in a minute. And he has decided, we are not going to do that anymore. We are going to pull the John Campea show off of YouTube. We are just going to have these segmented clips, and the whole show can be listened to as a podcast form instead. Now then, if you are a paying member of the John Campea show, which I think you have to pay at least $5 or $7, something like that, or more, then you can watch the show uncut, or at least the full show together, but it will no longer be live. I find this to be really, really confusing for a number of reasons. First of all, I kind of alluded to it earlier. The live show is where he gets his main super chat support. Like, people send in super chats, he opens it up for a few minutes, they send in the super chats, and then he gets a lot of money and he answers these questions. Now, I've not seen what the John Campea show full looks like without it being live. Maybe they still find a way to do that. I don't know. You're going to have to let me know in the comments if that's how it is. But that seems to be a huge money source that is getting rid of. Now, you could say that they are compensating for this by basically putting the show behind a paywall, and that is how the show is being paid for. That's possible. But here's the other thing. I also know that it's really hard to force people to pay for something that they used to get for free. And considering this has been a business model that has been working, it doesn't make sense to do it. But here's the other thing. Since he is now pushing this podcast at the end of every video, the show in a podcast form, I should say, now the fact that he is letting go of talent, all the more strange, because podcasts are different than YouTube videos. Now, granted, I will admit, I have listened to the John Campea show. I've put it on my phone and on YouTube, and I have not watched it. The visuals are not the most important aspect. But if he wants to get into podcasting, why doesn't he have more people to bounce off of? That's what podcasts truly thrive on, is the interaction, the back and forth. And you know what? Since it's going to be audio, why does everyone have to be in the room at the same time? Why can't we do things remotely again, where now Rob and Aaron could maybe join? Because I did find out, many people told me that Aaron moved to New York, so good for her. I hope she's happy there. But why can't there be a remote element? If it's going to be primarily audio, why not get the old cast back? In fact, since you want to shift to a podcast form, why do you still have this studio? Now the look of the John Campea show means even less than before. So why don't you cut the studio loose, get your cast members back, your talent, so to speak, and you pivot to the podcasting form, and then this is where things are really nice. If people want to watch it fully as a member, they can pay for it. You can still have the segmented shows, and you have the podcast which you're trying to build. That's what I think could happen. Of course, it's not my channel that I'm running. It's just kind of what I see from the outside looking in. But that being said, this is just so strange. Why even make this move at all, though? I mean, John's acting like, oh, we looked at the analytics for last year. This show has been on the internet for several years at this point. And that's why there's always been these individual segments. It's not like this is a surprise that the individual segments still get more views than the live shows. This is nothing new. Having a show with a couple thousand live viewers is really good for the algorithm. And why he would risk that is extremely strange to me. And you know what this is kind of like right now? The John Campea show is still existing, but it's starting to miss the product that drives people to the John Campea show. The core product is in jeopardy as far as I can see. So let's use McDonald's as an example. And McDonald's has an app, and that's why I'm using an example. Let's say McDonald's one day announced that, hey, you know what? We are no longer going to put the Big Mac sauce on the Big Mac. We're still going to have the sandwich, but it's not going to have the sauce because we've looked at the sales charts. It's cost this much to put the sauce on it. This many people say, yeah, we don't get the Big Mac with the sauce anyway, so we're really not going to be offending that many people. So let's just sell the Big Mac without the sauce. But then you have a huge backlash from people who say, hey, we like the sauce on the Big Mac. Like, do we really want to eat the Big Mac without the sauce? Well, okay, maybe they will though. You're going to lose some sales, obviously, but yeah, maybe there's enough people there who will still eat the Big Mac without the Big Mac sauce. Then you come in one day to the store and it's like, I'd like to buy a Big Mac. And they're like, oh, we don't sell the Big Mac anymore. It's like, you don't sell the Big Mac at all? Oh no, we do, but you have to download the app and buy it through the app. Well, why can't I just buy it now? I'm at the store. You have them back there. Yeah, we have them back there, but you got to buy it through the app. Well, the app costs $10 a month. This is not what the real McDonald's app charges, by the way. The real McDonald's app is free. Just wanted to let that know so I don't get any comments. But yeah, you mean to tell me I've got to pay $10 to sign up for the McDonald's app, and then I can buy the Big Mac? Yeah, even though the Big Mac's back there. Absolutely. Okay. Well, will you at least put the Big Mac sauce on if I got to pay $10 a month just for the privilege of buying the Big Mac? No, we've still determined we're not going to have the Big Mac sauce on. Now, for those of you who haven't picked up yet, Rob, Aaron, Amy, Taylor, these people are the Big Mac sauce. And the Big Mac is the John Campea show, which is now behind a paywall. Now, if you ask the McDonald's person, well, why are you taking the Big Mac off the menu? Why aren't you, letting us buy it from the store? It's like, well, we looked at our sales charts and we found out that more people bought Coke and French fries. Those are the items that sell the best. So therefore, we've decided to prioritize those instead of the Big Mac. Because really only 20% of people buy the Big Mac. It's like, well, yeah, but people buy the soda and the fries with the Big Mac. We don't always want them by themselves. Sometimes we do, but sometimes we want the Big Mac there. You see how silly this would start to get? It doesn't make sense to paywall your main feature, even if the side items are more profitable. I can guarantee you, by the way, that McDonald's does sell more fries and sodas than they do Big Macs, but you think they're going to actually discontinue the Big Mac? No, they are not, because that's not how this works. They know that there is a core product that they are known for, and it drives traffic to the stores. The John Campea show is the core product. It is where the live streams happen. It's where he interacts with people. It's where they send in the super chats. By having the thousands of people watching live, it feeds positivity to the YouTube algorithm, and he is going to cut that off and just sell the fries and the soda. I don't get it. And then when he does that, he can't even bring the sauce back after paywalling the show. I do not know why he's doing this. There is no logical sense for why he's doing this. Now, look, there have been people that have been exclaiming that, well, you don't know what things cost and things like that. And it's like, you're right, I don't. And but again, my original point was if there were costs that needed to be saved, I would start working on the certain other things to get rid of before you start getting rid of the Big Mac sauce. Like maybe instead of putting the Big Mac in cardboard, wrap it in paper. Could you save some money that way? You know what I'm getting at. There were probably other things he could have gotten rid of first before he got rid of the cast. But then he's taking his core product and he's locking it behind a paywall. And I don't want to say like he is strong-arming you into supporting his show by doing this financially, but I can see why people would feel that way. And here's the most ironic thing. I've actually seen some people already make this comment online, so I will make it. Remember when John complained about how Disney was raising the prices of Disney Plus, and the price that we were paying at the moment, at that time, which had no ads or anything, that was now going to be the plan that added commercials, and we had to pay more to not get commercials. And he said, you are raising the price while taking away things of value. That might be a more appropriate comparison than even the Big Mac theory. Like, yeah, right now John is Disney Plus, and he is taking things away from the audience while asking them to pay more. And it's his right to do that. It absolutely is. It seems wholly unnecessary considering this is a format that has worked and people loved it. And I'm just getting a sense, like one of the reasons I think my last video got so many views is because I really thought I was the only one that thought this way, but apparently not. Apparently a lot of people are really unhappy with this direction. So should John be listening to me per se about what he should do with his channel? Not necessarily. But it seems like a lot of people are not happy. And since he is running this as a business, that's really strange that he would do this. It's really strange. Now, there might be another reason, and it might have something to do with his announcement that he's going to be retiring in a couple of years. Maybe he says, you know what? I'm going to retire in a couple of years. Why continue to build? Why build? Why don't we cut, we preserve, and in a couple of years, I'm walking off into the sunset, and that might be what he's doing. That actually very well could be the main reason this is all going on. And look, when the John Campea show is gone, I'm sure I will miss it. But here's the weird thing. I kind of miss it now, and I haven't technically stopped watching it, but it's becoming worse. And I'm kind of thinking I'm at that point where I might one day not watch it for a few days and then a week or two, and I might just find I don't miss it as much. And so that's kind of the sad thing. By the time he retires, am I even going to realize that it was still on the air? Is it just going to become one of those shows kind of like Law and Order or Jag where it's like, that's still on? Like they haven't canceled that thing yet? I don't know. It's kind of depressing to watch it all go down this way. It's more strange than anything. But that being said, what do you all think? Are you still paying to watch the John Campea show? Does any of this make sense to you? I'd like to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one. Okay, a quick little post-edit thing. So apparently after I made this video, I went to John Campea's channel and I saw a video version of the podcast. But no, it's not the actual show. It is just the John Campea Show logo with bars that follow the audio and words for what they're saying. So is he still putting the show on YouTube, but then deciding he's going to keep the visual version to members only? I don't know. I don't know. And this is why I promise I'm not going to become like a Campea exposed channel or something like that. This just doesn't make any sense from a critic who watches shows and considered the John Campea show to actually be a professional show, and now it feels extremely unprofessional and it doesn't make a lot of sense. So just throwing it in there. sorry. Since I caught it in time, I figured save myself some, comments from people saying, oh, you need to make a video, but I'm not going to make a video because now the whole situation makes even less sense. Anyway, take care, everyone.